Abyssinian Baptist Church, located in Harlem, New York, in the borough of Manhattan. In this pulpit has stood great men of stature, including the Reverend Adam Clayton Powell Sr., Reverend Adam Clayton Powell Jr., the Reverend Dr. Samuel Proctor, and current pastor, Reverend Dr. Calvin O. Butts III. But today, we're going to shift the focus slightly from the pulpit to the pipes, featuring Mrs. Dina Foster Osbourne. Come on over, Dina. Let's introduce you to the world. This is one of the most fantastic organists you will hear, and you've heard a bit from her at the beginning of the show, but you're going to hear a lot more from her in just a few minutes. So let's sit down and have a conversation with Dina.
I started playing the piano when I was 4, and I played on a toy baby grand piano for a whole year before my parents decided to buy a piano. So I played piano up until my teenage years, and one day I was sitting in this grand church in Brooklyn called First AME Zion Church, and this man was playing this instrument. I was like, where's the sound coming from? Because I grew up in a little church. We had a little Hammond organ, and that's what I played on. And I went up to him, I ran up to him after the program and said, can you teach me how to play this instrument? And he says, well, sure. Do you have any piano background? And I said, oh yeah, I've been playing since I was 4. And he said, 4? Really? So I started taking organ lessons with Mr. Henry Sexton, who was the minister of music at First AME Zion in Brooklyn. And a lot of times Mr. Sexton would not show up, so therefore I would just sit at that pipe organ and sit there for an hour practicing. Then it'd become 2 hours, and then by 2.5 hours later he'd show up and say, you've been practicing. I've been listening to you for the last 2.5 hours. So, that's really how it started, my love for pipe organ music. And I've been here at Abyssinian for the last 30 years, believe it or not, playing the pipe organ. Welcome to the Abyssinian Baptist Church pipe organ. Our pipe organ was installed especially for Abyssinian in 1978. It is a 67 rank with 4,050 pipes, which makes us one of the 100 largest organs in America. We have 5 manuals consisting of the antiphonal, that's the top, the positive, the swell, the great, and the choir. Pulling out the stops. What we do is we can pull, if we want to hear a clarinet, if we want to hear a flute, we can pull out some flute stops. And then we set them on what we call these generals. We set them on pistons. So that way on Sunday morning when I come in, if I need to play something very soft, it's already on General 1. Or if I need something really, to get the congregation to sing, we can add General 10, which gives you the big trumpet. So especially on Easter Sunday, you might hear something like this.
I could not resist asking Dina to play one favorite piece of mine. You're right, Toccata and Fugue in D minor by Johann Sebastian Bach.
we get a chance to actually sit and talk with Dina. Her playing, as you just heard, was so phenomenal. I tell you, Dina, every time I listen to you, I'm just in awe. I'm in complete awe. And you know what? You really put me to shame today. Tell you how. Yes. Because I thought I was doing something, driving a standard shift, you know, shifting both feet, and, you know, I'm doing this, I'm doing, and I look over there, you're playing the melody in your feet. I was like, this woman is phenomenal. That was great. It was really, really great. It really was. And every time I hear you, I'm just in awe. When I joined, and I did forget to say that I'm also a member here at Abyssinian, proud member. And when I joined the congregation in 1992, I remember I was sitting over there. And shortly afterwards, I did the Right Hand Fellowship. And my mom drove up from Kentucky for the Right Hand Fellowship. And she sat over there too, and she's a retired music educator. And we just listened to him. We were like, who is playing this organ? Who is so great? Okay, I'm going to calm down now. That was just so wonderful. So you've been here at Abyssinian for 30 years?
30 years.
I did not realize it had been quite that long. I know when I first met you, you were a single lady. Now she's married. Her son's about to graduate from high school, so I knew you had been here a while.
That's almost 20 years ago.
Oh my goodness. Well, you obviously are enjoying being here at the Abyssinian Baptist Church, and you're much appreciated. I hope that you do know that as well. So for others out there who, especially young black females, and maybe I should include males too, is there any inspirational words you could give them to encourage them to, you know, try out the pipe organ? It's a wonderful instrument.
Well, Deborah, you'd be surprised. A lot of young people come to the organ and they want to study, and the first thing I tell them is practice, practice, practice. The more you practice your piano skills first, then you'll be able to study pipe organ. So, and then you have to have a love for the church itself, a love for Christ. I don't take it lightly that I'm able to go over there and do this and move the feet and my hands and fingers. So, you know, a love for Christ and a love for your church too, because I started out in the church where I grew up. So my home church was a little itty bitty church with the itty bitty 2-manual Hammond organ and a piano. And you just have to love where you are at that point. So right now I love where I am at Abyssinian. Otherwise I wouldn't be here for 30 years.
That is a commitment, one to be commended.
And I'm honored to be here as well.
Thank you so very much. And I know the audience is just extremely happy that you've been willing to share your talents, your blessings with us, and we certainly do appreciate it. And you want to tell us about your recital that's coming up?
Oh, yes. I have an organ recital coming up at Columbia University's St. Paul's Chapel. That's on Tuesday, April 29th. It starts at 6 p.m. sharp, so please arrive at 5:45 p.m. It'll be about 45 minutes to 1 hour, and I may do some piano selections as well.
Great,
as
great.
organ.
I know that's going to be awesome.
I hope so.
Thank you again, Dina.
Thank you, Deborah.
Thank you for watching us again on Arts Resuscitation. I'm your host again, Dr. Hodge, and we look forward to hearing more from Dina and would love to hear from more artists out there. Thank you once again.